Hello, happy Apple Day. iPhone pre-order day. Where's my chat? There it is. Give them the old welcome in. All right, that's good. Yes, sir. Hey, Vic. Thanks for joining in. Yeah. I've been on a diet all week. I guess it's not really a diet. I mean, I guess it is. I've been trying to just consume less calories than I burn. And I'm kind of puny. I've every day been between 400 and 600 calories under where I need to be to lose 2 pounds a week. So I've been under eating, which is kind of dumb, but anyway, that's why I feel like I've been a little tired lately. But I kind of made a mistake, but kind of not, of eating a huge Firehouse sub a few minutes ago, a 12-inch one, and I feel so full. It's the glutton in me, iPhone day, iPhone day, and I have things to talk about today for sure, and maybe I'll wait to kind of dive into iPhone a little bit later when more people are on, but isn't this guy on a lot of things? I feel like I've seen him in a lot of things. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, let's dive in and come back to this. I did want to see. That's kind of a cool orange look, actually. I'm not really a fan of the orange, but all right, let's dive into it. I thought this was a cool looking projector. Oh, it's TCL. Yeah, man, I don't know. Projectors are just getting so commoditized, I guess, at this point. There's just so many of them. They never perform well on our channel either. That said, we just got offered to do a review of a projector that it isn't this one, but it looks really similar. And it looks really cool, and I think it would fit well on form and function, and I think something I'm thinking about doing is finding ways to double down on our website, formfunction.site, and use it as another means of publication for brands who we either like the look of their product, but we know it won't perform well on our channel, or we like the look of their product, but they don't have the budget for a review on our channel. And I think it'd be cool to put stuff like this that we could get it in, test it, and then basically just be a version of this site, with our own sort of looks and stuff, which this is interesting. I don't think I've heard of this site before. Still tired, man. Vic, did you get oh, you're a Google guy, right? Still rocking the 6, I think is what you said. We reviewed this Arzen projector. What is this? Dang, is that real? This was a dream for a lot of people in the past, to have a tablet that was just all screen. Still rocking the 6 Pro. Heck yeah. An all-screen laptop. And I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, I know some people, look, it comes with a keyboard though. I guess it just can sit on the screen. I know. Whew. Wow. $3,300 though. I know people who like actually typing on iPad screens. So something like that wouldn't be too bad. Interesting site. Kind of want to subscribe. I don't really care about like military and manufacturing and stuff though. This is pretty cool. Huge Bluetooth speaker from Marshall. You know we love Marshall here, but it has like lights built into it. It's kind of neat. I've really wanted to work with Limo. I have 2 robot lawnmowers. I've reviewed 3, I think. But that one has like treads instead of wheels, and I have so many holes in my backyard, and the treads would actually like help with that issue. Anyway, I've been on this for too long. I have seen this from a bunch of different sources that Amazon's working on smart glasses to compete with Meta and potentially Apple. Was it Vivo? I don't remember who else just dropped smart glasses too. But that'd be cool. It'd be interesting to see how Amazon would make use of that. They could make use of the camera, but look at all these iPhone ads. Holy cow. Tom's Guide. I watched an interesting video from Tom's Guide interviewing Jaws and the other Apple guy who's younger, who I think might be next in line for CEO, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, which helped with a lot of my thoughts. That video did, and then a couple others, which I'll be sharing a lot of that probably here in a few minutes, but also in my actual reviews of the iPhones. But now we're on to Meta Connect. When is it gonna happen? 17th? Tomorrow? No, sorry. Next Wednesday. My birthday's on the 16th. Woo! I'll be 32, man. That's a good number. I don't know if I like being that old, but I don't know. I always saw 30s as like the adult prime when I was a kid. You know? Like 40 is like, oh, now you're starting to get a little old. And then 50 and 60, you know, it goes up from there. But I always saw 20s as like young adulthood, and then 30s as like your prime. Like, I'm already starting to hurt and get sore and stuff, but I don't know. It's like I'm a full-on adult now, you know? Like, in my 20s, early 20s, I could still get carded. You know, late 20s, I could pass as a 23, 24-year-old, maybe. But in my 30s, I've, like, filled out. You know what I mean? Why am I talking about this? Oh, because my birthday. Anyway, I'm excited to see Meta's next Ray-Bans, and then this Hypernova, which should have a screen in them, I think. Gosh, that looks so dumb. One day, you know. Who's that lizard? Asus ROG Tarius. Is that it? That's the MetaQuest 3S, right? Maybe they're just talking about it coming. I think there's been a good amount of interest on this channel for... Dude, look at all that orange and blue. That's crazy. There's been a good amount of interest on this channel for AR, VR. Maybe I should... I've been putting off making a VR video, but maybe I should. We've gotten a lot of interest from AR stuff in the past, like X-Real, Ray Neo. Those videos tend to do well. I'm definitely going to be picking up like new Meta Ray-Bans. Hopefully going to pick up Hypernova. Our budget's hurting a little bit because of Google and Apple, but we'll be all right. Just got to kind of pick and choose what we buy. But I do think this is an interesting thing tech is doing, and I'm excited to see and experience that and share it on the channel. So yeah, this too, Steam Frame. So it's Steam's own VR headset. Quest-like all-in-one VR headset. I think the thing that MetaQuest has going for it is the standalone nature. So the fact, ooh, look at this. The standalone nature where like I can put it on, it has its own battery there, and I'm immediately in the software. I don't have to be plugged up to a computer. I'm not streaming off of a computer or anything. Like it's all taking place in the headset. To me, that's very important. Now, I haven't tried like a super high-end VR headset to see what it would be like to be plugged in yet, or be streaming yet, have a really, really high specs going on. But I just think like the standalone product of MetaQuest is really great. And then I think too, like the metaverse, like they kind of started with metaverse as their like, when they announced all of this kind of stuff and changed the name to Meta, they talked about the metaverse, a place where people could gather and stuff on the internet. And I feel like they're just ahead in that. So like someone like Steam, I feel like Steam would need to make some kind of metaverse, like a Steamverse or something, where when you put on the headset, you're immediately in like a world and you can like hang out with other people in their worlds in between games. I think that's like a huge feature. And I don't know, like it's a really cool feeling knowing when I put on the Quest 3 headset, I'm like in my own little room or my own space. Like my actual space, first off, like my actual office, it's passed through. And then I can double tap and then be in a virtual room that I pick and choose. And at any point, I can hop over to someone else's room, or I can start a call with them, and we can go run around worlds made by people together, or we can hop into a game. So it's like you put it on and you're in a different world. And I think that's really interesting. I feel like from what I've seen, I could be wrong. I don't know enough about the market, to be honest, or like the industry, but I feel like you have to have that sense of just by putting it on, you're in an interesting and different space. Or like your abilities increase, right? Like I put this on, now I can hop to someone else's world or room. I put this on, now I can make a phone call. I put this on, now I can dive into a video game. Put this on, now I can run around with my little avatar with my friends in some world created by someone else. That's a cool experience and feeling just putting on the headset. So I don't know, I'd be interested to see. It's one thing to just play VR games, which is probably 90 to 95% of it. Jeez. Sorry, I just came across something sad. But yeah, I think the whole experience of being in virtual reality is important, with others specifically. All right, let's flip back over here. How sustainable is a new Pixel 10? I don't think I really cared about. This is kind of interesting stuff. There's circular design, more rounded stuff. I really just bookmarked this article because I've decided, and I didn't bring it today like a dummy. I kind of forgot to bring it actually. I am turning in the Pixel 10 Pro for the Pixel 10 because I don't know if I want to keep a Pixel, and if I am going to keep a Pixel, I think having the base model would be fine. I just don't like. I see where when I switch to Apple, like I'm a huge Apple fan, so like I'm gonna want to be using iPhone, And so I'm just going to have this Pixel 10 Pro sitting around if I don't send it back. It's like $1,000 phone that just sits on the desk, and I don't really want to have to resell it as like used on the market. So I'm going to send it back and exchange it for the base model, Pixel 10, and then test that out, maybe make a video. If I have the time, I might compare it to the Pro just briefly. But from what I can tell, like, the Pixel 10 is a great value phone. I think cameras are a little less, megapixel or something. But other than that, like, I don't know. There's a lot of great features in the base model, kind of like what Apple did this year. So anyway, and then I'll have this for when, for some reason, like the Pixel Watch 4 isn't shipping till October, which is kind of a bummer. I was hoping to test the watch and the Pixel 10 Pro together. But I want to be able to test the watch and get that experience. So having the base model will help me to do that, fully integrated the way it's supposed to be, which is cool. So, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited to be able to make content as I'm taking these, intentional business decision steps too. And hopefully my goal would be that I could review the 4 and then potentially send back the Pixel 10. It's always been like a question, like, is it okay to buy tech products, review them, and then return them? And honestly, I feel like there's no issue in that. I think I used to wonder, because I imagine like walking into a Best Buy and buying it and then walking back into that same Best Buy and returning it and doing that like 10 times, and they're like, hey guy, what are you doing? And I don't know, maybe you would get flagged with Google if you bought 20 devices from them and sent all of them back. You probably would, but I don't know. I already mentioned this, didn't I? That's pretty funny. Wow. I really want to review this lawnmower. And they reached out to us, and we got really close. And nothing happened. Looks like it has RTK, though, which is interesting. I don't mind RTK. It's like this weird thing. It's like a satellite dish on the end of a pole kind of thing. And it's like it gets the data from the satellite and then shoots it out or something. I don't really know how it works, but I prefer no RTK and no wires. Some of these robot lawnmowers, you have to literally like put a wire in the ground around your yard so it knows not to go past that. Dude, have we talked about this before? Kawasaki made this robot horse. It's real. Hydrogen powered, which is weird. But it's literally just like so weird. Isn't that wild? Dude, that's not real. What a weird... That's like straight out of Horizon Zero Dawn or whatever it's called. That's not real footage. Are we in a video game, man? This whole like HUD is really cool. What? How does that work? In your helmet, I guess? Can't wait to take my son around on one of these. Okay, I'm confused. It is a real thing. But maybe it just sits there for now. Oh. So strange. So cool, I guess. Oh. How do I see the other? Can't. Okay. I think that's something. Anyway. Moving on. Oh, I thought this was cool. Somebody just made a 3D print of the Mini Phone Ultra. Which, do you guys remember that little case company? Not case company. They made something just like this for Apple Watch, but it had the scrolly wheel. I actually think this is kind of dope, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know. Just having this be, and I like how it's on the string, so you could like keep it attached to like your like pants or something, you know. But it's like it's basically a tiny phone, especially if you're running on, you know, whatever. If you have it hooked up to the intranet. What am I trying to say? A cellular plan. Jeez. I don't know. Interesting concept. I feel like more like Spigen should be making this, you know? Like there should be other companies like trying this out. D-Brand would be a pretty funny one to do. I mean, it looks kind of dope, not gonna lie. I don't know. Could be a good dumb phone alternative. All right, Meraki espresso machine. I love reviewing coffee machines, and in fact, we may or may not be having a unit sent over to us from Terra Cafe, their new model. I am extremely excited for it. It looks incredible, and I love my current TKO2, so I'm pumped. This guy looks kind of wild and has a lot going on, but I would love to test it. If William was watching, I don't know if he is. If you are, hello, William. I feel like we've tried reaching out to them before, or maybe I did on Instagram or something. But we should try again. Oh, it's $2,000 though. Isn't that wild, man? Products have just gotten so expensive. But if you think about it, like an iPhone is half this price. An iPhone technically does more. But anyway, I just think it looks cool. I want to try out all the coffee machines. I should start just like a coffee machine testing channel. The problem is I don't love coffee enough to be that guy. Oh, I heard about this. So this is funny. So like people like one of the Jenners and Dua Lipa have been shooting photos to get that retro look, which is hilarious. That there's a retro look now, which is digital cameras. But the reason I saved this was, one, because that's cool. Two, because Canon's bringing back one. And three, I used to vlog on this camera. I think it was literally this one. ELPH. Yeah. We would vlog. I think there were a couple vloggers I was following at the time who used this camera. And oh yeah, Nintendo just announced Virtual Boy, which is funny. Anyway, that's cool. I'm excited to see what that looks like, just because, like, are they going to make it the exact same but have updated internals, or is it going to be a new design just with the same name? So I saw this. It's saying like this new battery pack doesn't just work with the iPhone Air, but it's not gonna fit. Oh, they're just saying you can use the USB-C port on the bottom to charge other phones. Stupid. I went ahead and ordered one. I figured I'd get the full experience, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I'm very skeptical how good the battery's gonna be on the Air. I'm gonna rock the Air. That's going to be my phone, my daily driver, unless something happens and I need to switch to the Pro or something. But who in the world is at my house? Don't know. Let me check this. So disrespectful, I know. Nobody's home. Should put something in her door. I don't know. Anyway, so disrespectful. Sorry. What was I saying? I'm really excited for this phone. It's been the phone I'm most excited for, and it still is now that it's been announced. But I just can't imagine that battery lasting a long time. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I end up not liking it, or if I need to get a different phone because the battery's terrible or something, I might just go base model this year. I don't know about the Pro, man. This was neat. It's like a stand, or I guess the company, it makes monitors. But it's got this built-in Mac Mini area. Ben, if you're watching, you should totally think about getting this. It's kind of dope. And I guess this screen from A-Logic is a touchscreen. So it's kind of like that Microsoft, didn't they have Surface Pro or something that did this kind of thing, which is interesting. Looks like they make one for PC and then one for Mac too. I don't know. Interesting. Interesting design. Oh yeah, I saw that Xbox is gonna be in LG cars? Select vehicles. It's interesting. Like Tesla? Probably not. Maybe. I don't know. Nest cams. I think the reason I did this one was because I need to update my like Ring doorbell and stuff. The battery lasts like less than a day. It's really annoying. This is interesting. I know a lot of people on the channel love e-ink, so Lego engineer. What are your thoughts on foldable phones like the Samsung Fold 7 or the Pixel Pro Fold? Well, first off, welcome in. Second off, I'm very intrigued by foldables. I could see me maybe trying like a Pixel Fold next year, but I'm kind of waiting on Apple to do it, if I'm being completely honest with you. I don't like Samsung, and I don't even really want to try out their phones, let alone a foldable. Pixel, I do like, and I would be willing to test it out. It's just like $2,000, right? It's pretty expensive. Like, you can buy a pretty beefed up MacBook Pro for that price, which is wild to think about. I mean, you can make the argument you can get a MacBook Air for the price of the iPhone, so it kind of goes both ways, but that's what I think. Why do you ask? Do you have one? Lego engineer? It's a great name. Do you have a Lego like channel? Do you do Lego content? If so, I'm gonna watch it because I love Legos. It's just rating best e-ink tablet. It's really hard because, okay, they're saying who it's best for. I guess Books Tab XC or Books Note Max, they're saying are the best all around. V-Wood's AI paper is great. Best for students, that's interesting. Books Note Air 4C is what? Best color, okay. Best e-reader, Amazon Kindle Color Soft. I haven't had a Kindle in a while. I don't know if I really want to review them or not. Rada Supernote. I haven't tried the Manta. Best digital notebook, okay. Alright, best paper replacement, Remarkable Paper Pro. What does that even mean? Like, it feels most like paper. I think Remarkable is still top dog, even though they lack functionality because they don't have Kindle or like a store, like an app store. They're just the build quality and the intentionality and the design and everything is just so much better. It really is. Oh yeah, Instagram came to iPad. I need to try that out. Like officially, there's an iPad Instagram app, which is pretty cool. I definitely should try that out. I'm gonna try it out, dude. I feel like one issue they've always had is like their content is pretty small, so it like fits well and fine on a phone, but when it comes to like a large screen, not so great. They have had the web browser, so maybe that's just a cop-out kind of thing. All right, why does my music keep stopping? I feel like this always happens. Is this the last song? No. Ooh. Packages. All right. Did I pre-order? I don't know, you? I don't know you. Yes, I did. I pre-ordered. I got iPhone 17 Pro, iPhone Air, iPhone 17. Cases for each. For the Pro, I went with the blue color, and I got the black silicone case because I want the phone to be black. I watched that interview with Jaws and the other guy from Apple, and they defended why they didn't do black, but it was like the dumbest reason. It was like, we've always done dark phones. And if you want a dark one, the blue is beautiful. And it's like, yeah, but I don't want blue. Like, blue is not black. I got the MacBook Air 13-inch in like that dark blue. And I didn't like that it wasn't black. Like, it really bothered me. And it's going to happen here. How long will it take before you get it in hand? Hey, man, I wish I was a cool YouTuber, but I'm just an average consumer. So, pre-ordered today. I will get the phones on Friday, next Friday, the 19th. So, in Apple in the past, like, they do, like, next day shipping, and they usually ship on, like, Wednesday. So, like, in the past, I have been following tracking, and it gets here on Thursday, but they won't deliver it till Friday. Like, they actually have a hold on the delivery drivers not to deliver until Friday. So, it'll be Friday, but I will say I got 2 cases for the iPhone Air, a clear case for the iPhone 17. I got the iPhone 17 in lavender for my wife, which, again, I think is the best phone this year. iPhone Air I got in white because I've always loved a white phone, white iPhone, or just a white phone, and I think it's gonna look really, really nice with that slim form factor. I got the bumper case, I got the clear case, I got the battery pack for the Air, and then for the Pro I just got the black silicone. I also got the Watch 11 in that like shiny black because again they don't have a black color, which is annoying. Thanks, dude. I think you're a dude. I don't know if you're a dude. I don't know you. Thanks. What specifically are you wanting to know in a review? Because I'm going to try to do 3 unboxing videos for each phone on that Friday and maybe put them out that Friday if we can do it that quickly. If not, I might roll them into the weekend. So like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It'll be in stores Friday morning, the 19th. And that's why I've always I really should just go. I don't have an Apple store, but I really should just like go buy it from Best Buy or something on that morning. That's not a bad idea. I wonder if I could do that. I think my Best Buy opens at 10. This happens every year. When I was with Verizon, I would like order the phone, but then I would like go in. One year I ordered the phone a little too late and it wasn't going to show up till like the next week. And so I literally went to Verizon and I picked one up immediately when they opened. And I was like, why don't I just do this every year? But you play that game of like, if you don't get one. So I did buy these with a credit card. So maybe I should go to Best Buy next Friday morning and see if I can scoop up even just 1 or 2 of these, if not all of them. That's not a bad idea. I want to see how good the speakers are on the Air and see how long the battery lasts. Yeah. The speakers are going to be sad because they're not stereo, which really bothered me when I was testing out the CMF phone. It was really bad. It's like weird now that we've gotten used to stereo speakers. So that will bother me. And I think battery life's going to be a yikes a bikes. I don't really know how to... We're going to do, at least for the Air, we're going to do a day in the life video, which is fun for us. In fact, my editor Ben's going to come up. I should do a Ben test on the Air. I'm going to let Jerry everything do that. In fact, in that Tom's Guide interview with Jaws and the other Apple guy, Jaws literally like threw him the Air. Like the interviewer, he like threw him the Air and he said, try and bend that. And the dude was like, which was wild. Obviously, he's not going to put everything into it because yikes. But they seemed really confident. And apparently it gives a little bit. But the purpose is for it to give and then come back. So it's not like a gold bar. Well, gold's pretty soft actually, but it's not just a metal bar. But I'm not going to do a bend test. I'm going to let Unbox Therapy should be the one that everyone should look for. He was the original iPhone 6 bend guy. They should just like take a step back and let him do it, as a nod. I want to see if there really isn't a difference between the base and Pro. What do you mean, a difference? So I did want to talk about this today because I think these look so ugly. Also want to see if the camera bump on the Pro gets scratches easily. Oh, the actual like aluminum? Huh. I would assume so. Probably like on this edge and of course on the camera bumps. That orange is terrible. Hey, William. Hey, William. It's Halloween colors they got going on here. I think these look ugly. Today I brought the 16 Pro Max. Just transferred the data, and the first video I play on YouTube is your live. Well, thanks, Anton. Good to see you, dude. I don't think they mentioned a single thing about Apple Intelligence. Okay, yeah, let me get back to the aesthetic. Yes, but it's still so bad. I know. I wish they had the gray for the Pros. I wish they had black. I mentioned this earlier. Jaws was like, we do dark phones all the time. If you want a dark phone, get the blue one. It's beautiful. And I'm like, but I don't want a dark blue. I want black. How do they not? Anyway. I feel like it was something where like they couldn't get the materials to look nice as black or something, or maybe I don't know. But okay, let's go back to design. I think these look really bad, and especially the silver one. I don't like the orange color. I know some people do. This to me is just like so ugly because this looks kind of whitish, and I think it looks best in landscape though, to be honest with you. You think it'll survive the bend test? I think so. I've seen it survive the bend test already. But, okay. I keep getting distracted by you guys, which is a good thing. But they look terrible, and it bothers me. William, they're all two-toned. In a way. I got the blue one because it's like the less two-toned, most low-key option. Wow. I really need to work on getting distracted. Since the Pro phones became a thing, it was kind of like the Apple Watch, where you bought the higher end version because it had better materials and looked nicer. The design was better. There was also more capable, right? And for a while between the Pro and the Pro Max, there was a difference in capability, or like the iPhone and the iPhone Plus, there was a different amount of capability. So you're paying more to get more screen, to get in my opinion, a better look. With the titanium phones when they came around, it was like, this is a better material. Like, you're paying a premium for that. And I think what happened, in fact, I was watching Talos of Tech, who I've followed for years. He made a very good point where he thinks Apple is like kind of juking a little bit, zagging a little bit, where the Pro phone, they don't want it to be the status symbol. I mean, it is the status symbol that it's the most expensive and can do the most, but they want it to be for pro users. So they're choosing materials like aluminum because it helps with heat. They're putting a bunch of cameras in there because they want to give you the widest array of options. They're doing the heat sink, same reasons. There's so much like pro technology in here, and they're taking a step away from like, it also has to be the most beautiful. And I think that's why we now have iPhone Air. It is a status symbol. It's very pretty. It is like, ooh, wow, when you whip one of these out and it's so thin and people can stand there and hold it with you. It allows there to be like a split. So you can go base model, or you can choose the split of paying a little bit more to go more premiumly designed or more premiumly capable. And when I heard it kind of put that way, that made a lot of sense to me. Ooh, they now have this. Have they ever had this before? That's pretty cool. So for me, I love form and function. I'm also not a pro user, even though I've bought the Pro for quite a few years now. I care more about the design and the user experience. So if battery is good with this phone and the camera is capable enough for what I use it for, I'm going to be in love with this thing. And honestly, even if battery isn't that great, for me personally, like I sit at my desk a lot, I can keep it topped up, or I can get that battery bank if I really want to, which I did to try it out. But this is actually really neat. I don't think they've done this before. Look at that guy. So anyway, Pros are going to still look nice, and there's going to be premium materials. They're going to choose the best materials premium-wise they can for the Pros, but they also have to make sense functionally. So you got a base model, which is best of both worlds, and that's why I think, personally, the base model iPhone this year is the best iPhone, because you're getting the perfect marriage between form and function. You get 2 cameras, you get a great screen, smaller bezels, all the functionality that like an average user would use, great price point. However, if you want to go a little bit more on the form side and have something slimmer and more premium looking, you go Air. If you want something more on the functional side, you go Pro. It doesn't look as good, but you start to see that split. And in fact, the interview I watched with the Tom's Guide dude, they mentioned form and function a lot, which had me very excited and also had me immediately saying, oh, everyone's going to call me out for stealing that. But I've been saying that for a long time. So it's also not my thing. It's form and function's been around forever. But I got this one for my wife, a little lavender color. If I were to pick, I would probably go black or like this space gray. The white looks really nice too. Let me come over. Where are they? Boop, boop, boop. Those front-facing cameras are really cool. Super cool. Is the ceramic shield on the back for the base? I don't think so. That's a good question. I don't know where I would find that. Yeah, it says ceramic shield to front. So, great display. Like, I don't know, that's a really great phone. Here's my other thing with the Pros. So, I understand wanting to go function over form. So you pick a Pro instead of the Air. I guess I don't realize how many people use Pro iPhones for production, because it's basically like this phone can be a cinema camera is what they would like people to think. But like, unless there's a brand deal involved, what movie director wants to use an iPhone? Especially, I feel like you use iPhone as a movie director to lower the quality, to like give off a certain like feel. So like if they're trying to get these as good as a cinema camera or like a great stills camera, I would imagine most professionals just get a camera. They just use an Ari. They just use, heck, a Sony, right? Like, I don't understand the Master Chief combo. Oh, that's pretty cool. Darth Hopeful. That's a fun name. I want to go look at that. Can I look at that? Is that a thing? Can I just say accessories, phone, this one with green? There you go. Is that what you mean, Master Chief? That's pretty funny, actually. I think it's ugly, but if you're into that kind of thing. Yeah, so I just don't understand this market, and I don't understand why there's so many people buying for that reason. Or is it Apple just saying that they are? On-the-ground sections or live sections of movies would benefit from phone being easier to integrate in production. I guess. Or just use a smaller camera. I get the idea. It's just like, are filmmakers actually going to do that if it's not some kind of brand deal with Apple, or they're not incentivized to use iPhone? Some will, sure. There's going to be that one director who shot the entire film on an iPhone, and he did it to be able to say that. Hunter's delight for that green case with orange phone. Hunter wants that? Oh, you're saying, okay, gosh. It hurts when someone here is named Hunter, because then that's just immediately what I go to. I probably should have done that. I just don't want a blue phone. You know? I also have a thing with like textures where I cannot, and I just feel like that tech woven would just bug the crap out of me. So I just went silicone. Silicone cases are so nice. What? Yeah, I don't know. I don't get the allure of the Pro. And I'm saying that as a Pro user. I think what I've come to find is I don't need this phone. And I was buying it because I thought it was the most capable, yes, but the best looking too, maybe, kind of. Not me with a blue iPhone 16 to my immediate left. Well, William, I think for the masses, and for a good reason, having personality makes sense, and that's why you have all of these color phones. My wife wants a purple one because she loves purple. I would never do that. Personally, I'm more of like black or white, because if I get a color, I'll regret it at some point. And if you throw a case on this, there's still a pop of purple that shines through. If you throw a case on a black or white, it can be whatever color you want. Hey man, 13 was a good phone. I miss the minis. Can we bring those back? How come so many people say they miss the mini phones, but Apple didn't sell them? So they stopped making them. I don't. That's one of those like perception meets reality things where like, I guess just average consumers who don't make any kind of content or post online would never buy a mini phone. And all of like the creators really wanted a mini phone or something. A vocal minority problem. Help me with that terminology. music stopped again. Gets so quiet. No one is happy is saying I love a large phone. But the sales said they did at least. No one who is happy is saying I love a large phone. But the sales said they did. Yeah, I don't know. I also wonder that too. It's like, I think Apple has always and will continue to give us what they think we need to. Like, I do know that they listen to dollar signs, of course. But I think moves like this whole Air and Pro and sort of a split between form and function, if you will, is them saying this is how we're going to do this and you're going to pick based off what you want instead of like what do people want. I don't know. It's hard to know. I bought and sold the 13 mini like 3 times. It's just too good. Why'd you keep selling it? Battery life? I mean, that's the big thing too, is everyone was like, that phone was awesome, but the battery life sucked. And round and round it went. I had the 12 mini. I bought the 12, then I turned it in for the 12 mini, and I loved the 12 mini. And then when the 13 came around, I jumped to the Pro. It was quite a jump. This is a fun little... Yeah, I don't know. What about watch? You guys excited about watch at all? Not at all? I think I really want the Ultra 3, but I chose to buy the watch that seemed to physically change the most from last year. So the fact that this one got thinner, to me, meant it physically changed. Oh, I got you, Darth. Yeah, us tech geeks are weird, aren't we? It would even be cool to have like a 13 mini as like a weekender phone, you know? Just like when you're not working, just throw over your SIM. Probably be a hassle to change your SIM in and out, but it's a good idea. I picked up the Series 1 again, which I had for a while, to compare it to the Ultra 3, but then yeah, I decided to get the 11. So I might compare it to the 11. I don't know, but I got this guy, Jet Black, which is weird. I've never had a shiny Apple Watch before. Top recommendations for EDC tech for tech minimalists. I could do that. Usually my EDC is pretty minimal, but that's funny because I could pick out some minimal EDC, which would be like 3 things. That'd be an easy recommendation. I used to do more minimalist stuff, but the Ultra 3 in black. The thing is like I kind of want to just get an Ultra 2 in black, like I know Ben has. But then like no one would watch that video because it's an old piece of tech, so I couldn't justify the purchase because I'm gonna make a video. I did kind of want to see this, compare some of these. Also 49 millimeter is crazy. 3,000 nits. S10 chip. Those are all the same. Dude, the 72 hours in low power mode is kind of wild. Also, 42 hours just on a charge is insane. Watches never interest me because it's essentially everything from my phone but on my wrist. Have you tried one? It's like, I would say convenience and the health tracking. It's very convenient to use an Apple Watch. Yeah, I usually turn off a lot of notifications too. I have like messages and like some things, but it is really annoying when you're getting all of your notifications just on your phone in general, but especially sent to your wrist every time. But I don't know, I think like a black with black I mean, that's kind of a dope look. But I was also thinking a black ocean band, because I've really been loving this blue ocean band that came with the used version. Well, William, I think you should. In fact, I have a kind of scratched up Series 7 that might need a new home, so it's the big one. Let me know. Yeah, this just looks sick. And wouldn't a Pro phone look sick if it was all black like this? I will say something I kind of noticed is I feel like the new Pros kind of have some Watch Ultra vibes to them. And I kind of, with this split between form and function, I kind of wonder if they should name the Pro like the Ultra instead of Pro. iPhone 7, iPhone Air, iPhone Ultra. That's a little confusing though. But you know what? Like, doesn't that kind of give Apple Watch Ultra vibes? In a way. Camera bump. Hump feels like the ridge of the Ultra watches. I know. See? And it's got that same sort of antenna band. I don't know if you can see, there's an antenna band around the Ultra watch too, like right here. All the way around. It's the same thing on here. Oh man. At the end of the day, man, Apple kills it. Like, just, like, look at this. I don't know. I've always loved them. I've loved them. There's me, dude, in a scrum. Just kidding. It is weird to think there's like liquid in your phone. Anyway. Anything else, friends? I think I'm gonna wrap it up. Been going for an hour. Thanks for watching. I'll definitely, we're gonna try to put out quite a bit of content as quickly as we can for iPhone, because capitalism, I guess. But I'm excited. I'm excited to try them all. What did you order for yourself? I ordered, I said it earlier, but I ordered all 3 iPhones. And I ordered the Apple Watch 11 in the jet black or whatever it's called. I originally wanted to just order the Air and the Pro iPhones, but then I saw how great of value the base model was. So then I was like, maybe I should just do base model and the Air and just talk about how I think the base model iPhone is the best value. But then I remembered I told some brand partners who were going to be sending us phone cases that I was getting a Pro, so they've already sent over the cases for the Pro. And then I was like, well, my wife, I'll get my wife a new phone so I can justify getting the base model, the Air, and the Pro. And I will probably end up sending back the Pro, would be my guess. I could be wrong. fall in love, especially holding both of them and comparing them. I could choose to go with the Pro again. I'm sure it feels amazing in the hand. And I mean, obviously it has so many Pro features, but if there wasn't an Air this year, ooh, that would be more of a toss-up. I ordered the battery too. I ordered 2 cases for the Air, the bumper and the clear, the battery case, or the battery for it, silicone case for the Pro, and a clear case for the 17. If there wasn't an Air this year, it would be a really hard decision for me, because I think I would just want to go, I would just naturally buy the latest and greatest just because of my job, but I feel like I would just want the base model. Talk about expensive day. It's cool this job kind of allows us to do that, and I'm not going to keep all of them, so we'll get some of that money back, and my wife and I are trading in our current phones. So what do you mean the Air is going to be a sleeper? Do you mean as in like people aren't going to expect it to be great and then it is great, or people just aren't going to get it? They're going to snooze on it. What do you mean by sleeper? Better than what everyone is expecting. I hope so. It is sus that they're like, even though it's thin, still all day battery life. And we made a battery pack just for it. It's like, what? Yeah, I wonder how many meetings they had about like, should we announce the battery pack or just like put it live on the site? Or should we get out in front of this and say, even though you might be skeptical there's not great battery life, we've made something to help with that? Yeah, I don't know. I hope so. I want the Air to be the best model of all because I want to use it as my daily driver. It's my favorite of these 3, personally. But I will say, if like my mom or my sister or a cousin or friend says, what iPhone should I get this year? It's time for me to upgrade. I will tell them they should get the base model 17. It's the best value. No doubt. It's the best value. Anyway. All right. Hope you all have a good weekend. We've got I've got an iPad video going out next week, which is exciting, talking about iPad OS 26 and if it can replace your MacBook. And then we are reviewing this smart calendar thing that's really good for families. And then, like I said, when iPhones get in on Friday, we're going to rush to get all the unboxings done. And then hopefully the following week, release the full reviews. So that's our lineup. Dude, the Remarkable Paper Pro Move video has done probably the best I've ever had a video do on the channel. And that went out yesterday and it has 8,000 views. It's wild. I was telling my wife and someone else, I judge a video when we release it in the morning. If it has 100 or more views by that evening, I'm like, this video will do okay. And last night when I went to sleep, it had 5,000, I think, or something. It was crazy. The Move is awesome. I've been enjoying testing it out. And also, like, you get 100 days to return it. So, like, anyone, like, should I get it? Like, yes, get it. And then just decide. You have basically over 3 months to decide if you like it and if it works for you. It's cool. Anyway. All right, friends. Thank you. Thanks for hopping on. What would make these live streams better? I really love them, and it's cool when there's discussion, but I don't know if people are enjoying them as much as I am. I don't know. I said I was going to do 8 of them, and this is the 9th. So we'll see if we keep going. But yeah, let me know. Thanks, everyone. Have a great weekend. Bye, William. I might hop on the cord if you want to boot that up. I enjoy the lives. All right. Good. I enjoy them too. Maybe we could have different discussions or something. Have a nice weekend. Oh, cheers from Belgium. Sweet. See you later. See you, Vic. I like the lives a lot. All right. Well, maybe the 5 of us can hang out every Friday at noon or whatever time it is there. If you're in Belgium, it's what, 6, 7, 8? I don't know. I like them. My back hurts. I hate sitting in my chair for this long. All right. See you guys. Happy iPhone order day.